Hey, what's up, Online Empire Academy? This is Dean Soto, and if you hear if you hear a huge echo, I am in the process of moving to a brand new house, and I'm in my completely empty office filled with hardwood, and so there's just a ton of echo. So bear with me. I wanted to do this video because I think it's super important. I actually don't even know. It's funny because a lot of people who are part of the academy think that I am an extrovert and think that I am like this, Uber guru teaching people how to make money online. And I'm so extroverted and all I do is talk to people and stuff. Honestly, I am an introvert, and it takes so long for me to even come up with these ideas that I want to share because they're super important to me, but I'm not even sure sometimes how to structure them and how to go about sharing this stuff. But I thought this one was super important. I'm trying to be as honest as possible with this because I think this is probably the most important lesson that I've ever learned being an online entrepreneur. And yes, I do this full time. So if you don't know who I am, I do this full time. Online, I have an online business. I do drop shipping on Amazon. I do a whole bunch of stuff. But one thing that comes up over and over again that I see as really something I wish I would have learned a long time ago. This comes up whenever I'm doing coaching calls based around outsourcing, because that's outsourcing. Come on, anyone who sees any of the outsourcing guru stuff out there, the majority of the time it's based around you're being able to give all your tasks to these people overseas for a couple $100, and you never have to do any work whatsoever, and you just make a ton of money. I've been outsourcing for a long time. I want to say 7 or 8 years. And what I've found personally, is that when I was outsourcing before, I would be doing a lot of the work. And what I mean by that is I would have to be doing video training, and then they would ask me a lot of questions, and I'd have to answer those questions and things of that nature. And so ultimately, it did save time, but it was also a pain in the neck with outsourcing. And then on top of that, I was always still kind of in my business, and I didn't know why. I mean, I had some great developers, I had great people who were doing administrative stuff, but I was still kind of in my business, doing a lot of the work, doing a lot of other things that I didn't think that they would be able to do, okay? And so why am I saying all this? I'm kind of blabbering. Apologize. It's the way it is. It's what you get with me. If you don't like it, leave. Why I'm bringing this up is, had I known how to create systems, had I known how to create documentation, not me and actually having my guys create it, but understanding how to create systems in general, had I known this years and years ago, even while I was at my full-time job, I could have been growing a business on the side pretty much without me, if not totally without me, or at least been growing something that was working on the side that was bringing me some additional income. And it's something that is so important, and I want to show you. I'm not even exactly sure how to relate this yet, but I want to impress upon you how you can easily start offloading a lot of stuff in your business, even if you're doing systems just for you, or if you're doing it for someone in your family or whatever to do on your behalf. When you understand this concept, it transforms your entire business. This is what real big businesses do, like McDonald's. I mean, they have systems on systems and systems. And yes, that to me, that word gets overplayed, and at the same time, that word is kind of scary if you don't understand what a system is. But I kind of wanted to go through and show you my systems, what my guys use to run multiple aspects of my business, and how I go about doing that and why. Okay. So let me give I'm going to go into just one of these. Let's go into this cash machine project thing. Okay. So let me give you the why. Why do you want to do this? Well, with systems, when you're outsourcing, the big thing with outsourcing is having a system that your guys can follow. Okay. You're having a system that your guys can do over and over and over again. So like if we look at McDonald's or Del Taco or all these other places, they have systems. They have how much cheese you put on a quesadilla. What is a quesadilla made of? It's a tortilla, and you put 2 handfuls of cheese on there. You put it into the flat oven thing for 5 minutes, take it out, wrap it up, and you wrap it up this way, and then you put it off to the side. Like those systems, those ways of doing things, that's how they're able to get people right off the street who have no clue how to do any of this stuff and bring them right in. And so I kind of wanted to go through my systems and what I use. So I actually use a thing called Process Steet. You don't have to use this. Google Docs works amazingly well. And it's really understanding the concept behind creating systems that's the most important. But I'm going to give you an overview real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit about creating systems. So going back in here, this is just one of my systems. So this is a cash machine project. What I call cash machines. This actually comes from Frank Kern. If you ever seen some of his stuff, Frank Kern has a thing called cash machines. And essentially what a cash machine is you deliver a high value training, and when someone goes into that high value training, then afterward they get sold a product. Okay. And if they don't go into the training, then they don't get sold the product. Okay. Now this is done in Infusionsoft. All right, this is done with campaigns that are in Infusionsoft. And a long time ago, I thought that I would never be able to outsource or offload any of my Infusionsoft stuff. I thought I was the genius. I am the marketer. I'm the marketing automation guy, and I would be able to offload this. But this entire campaign, this entire concept of a cash machine is in Infusionsoft. It's actually in a number of different places. It's in Asana, which you can see right here. It says create a new cash machine project in our Asana task list. And look, in every single one of these, there's a number of steps. Okay. Sorry about that. There's a number of steps. And so in each of these steps, if I go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps in here, there's also a number of different tasks within the steps. And I can run this checklist and go through all of these steps. Okay. And that's just one. That's 1201, how to create a new cash machine project in Asana. That's how to get the thing actually going. Okay. So then the next thing would be creating draft cash machine pages in ClickFunnels. So they're actually creating pages within ClickFunnels. So if I go here, and go to template, it actually shows like how to create pages in ClickFunnels. Okay. Pretty crazy, huh? And they go through the entire process from start to finish, even in Infusionsoft. So if I go to Infusionsoft real quick, they are actually creating let me log into Infusionsoft, go to Campaign Builder, configure the sales sequence. So they're going in and they're actually doing, creating sales sequences. They're creating an HTTP post that goes and uses deadline funnel to create a deadline and all that other stuff. They're configuring tags, adding configure tags right here. All of this. And this is my staff. This is all my staff doing this. They're doing a delay timer, all this stuff. So they're going step by step in these. Okay. Now, this right here by itself can be worth thousands of dollars, and I don't have to do it. In fact, I have like my business partner, he can create a video, he can create what we're going to use for one of these cash machines press a button, and then my guys go through this entire thing, setting up just the entire cash machine project or the setup, and then he can actually go and get it started, and people getting emails and everything like that. Okay, so where do you learn? Where's the best place to learn to create systems like this? Well, I'll give you two resources. One is actually a book that I like a lot. In fact, when I got it, I thought it was just absolutely awesome. So let me go and get that book. So workthesystem.com. Oop. It's a free book. I have no affiliation whatsoever with it. It's called Work the System. You can get it. You can either buy the hard copy book, but if you actually log in, or sorry, not log in, but if you go and get on their email list, they will give you the book for free, which is cool. And I think you can even share it online. You'll get the if you share it via social media, you'll get the audiobook version. Okay. Now, why this book? You know, I do not do the systems the way he does it. So my guys, I'll share an interview with the guy who taught me how to do it the way I do it now in just a second. But the the reason I love this book is it helps to change your mind, to train your mind to understand how systems work, okay? And let's think about a system and why it's important when you're outsourcing, okay? Let's think about a system and why it's important when you're outsourcing. What is a system, all right? And we see all these things. We hear people say, oh, create systems or go outsource and, offload your work or whatever. Well, if we understand what a system is first, that makes things a lot easier. So what is a system? Let's think about your computer right now that you have, or heck, you're probably listening to this on your phone or watching it on your phone. Let's think about your phone. Your phone, that entire phone is a system, okay? And there are subsystems within that system, all right? Yes, I know it sounds complicated, but let's just bear with me. In that phone, you have a camera, right? If you did not have a camera, say you took that camera out of that phone, all right? If you took that camera out of that phone, there's something missing from that entire system because it's not fully working, etc. But you have the camera inside the phone, you have the battery, and the battery does what it does, right? It has its chip to be able to understand when it's charging. It has its chip to understand when it's being drained, etc., etc. But you have the camera that works in its own way. It has the ability to record. It has the ability to store into memory. So on top of that, you have memory, right? And the memory is there. It's flash memory. It does its thing. It is able to store data. It knows when to delete data. It knows when to do store data based off of the central processing unit, right? That's in there. The central processing unit takes the input and output and basically tells all the other things what to do, right? These are all little systems, subsystems within that larger system, right? There's a larger system, and if you were to take each one of those little subsystems, perfect them, and put them all together, then they make that entire full system. Same thing with your car. Your car is an engine. It has the engine. It has a motor. It has the catalytic converter. It has the pistons. It has the spark plugs, and all of those little subsystems do their specific little thing for the and if you perfect those specific little things, each one of them makes the whole. Each part makes the whole, which makes the entire system. Okay. So this book is great at getting your mind to understand systems and how they work. So let's take, for example, if we go back to my cash machine example, and I have a lot of different things. I have new team member onboarding. I have eBay dropshipping, how to do things on eBay. I have just my normal, my management and hiring things, how to hire people, how to do all that stuff. I have my cash machines. I have a whole bunch of different, these are entire systems right here. And then there are subsystems within that system. Okay. So going back to this cash machine example, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, but going back to this cash machine example, I have 15 subsystems. I have how to create a new cash machine in Asana, how to create draft cash machine pages in ClickFunnels. Why Asana? Because that's where we have our project management. That's where we manage the project. That's where our entire team can start working on this thing, and we can assign tasks. So if I perfect that subsystem, it's going to help the system as a whole. Why ClickFunnels? ClickFunnels we use for our pages, right? We use it for our opt-in pages, our sales pages, things like that. How to create sales copy for the new cash machine. So just because we create pages in ClickFunnels, we also have to have copy for those pages, right? And there has to be a copywriter who's going to do that. And so that's where that's where this comes into play. And then adding copy to the pages, okay, to the pages themselves. Because my VAs might not be the one who, they might be the one who create the new, they might be the one who add copy to the sales pages, but they might not be the ones who are doing the copy, okay? How to do the initial cash machine draft setup in Infusionsoft, and setting up the actual structure of it, and connecting the cash machine opt-in page to Infusionsoft. So this is where it's connecting on ClickFunnels to be able to do opt-ins and so on. And then how to do the email copy for the cash machine. How to set up initial pages for the deadline funnel, because I use automated deadlines on certain things. Yes, if you ever get into one of my sales things, now you know one of my secrets. It may or may not. You never know. I don't know. Maybe it is a real deadline. I treat them as real deadlines though. So anybody who asks hey, can I get it after the deadline? I'm like, nope, sorry. How to set up cash machine bridge email. That's kind of like an email that goes from training to moving them toward more of purchasing. How to integrate deadline funnel with Infusionsoft and ClickFunnels. And you can see going on and on and on. So these are all subsystems that lead to the bigger system. Okay, subsystems that lead to the bigger system. And when we do this, what this allows us to do is completely offload this entire process. So I do not have to be involved in this at all. My business partner or someone else that we have on a team can kick all of this stuff off and have this entire thing done. And is it because I'm absolutely a genius and because I've hired the most brilliant people, which I did. I love my people. They're awesome. My staff's awesome. And they just know exactly what to do without being told? No, it's because they get step-by-step instructions on how to do this. And the way that I do it, how this actually happens is I'm in here, I do videos for them, and through those videos, they are able to look at those videos, and they create this documentation for me, right? They create this documentation for me. And when they create the documentation, after that, they're able to go step by step and do it themselves. Anybody can do this. Anybody who speaks English can go and do this. So I have my own little McDonald's now. It has nothing to do with me being hiring the absolute best people who can read my mind. It's about having people who are super detailed, and they are able to create documents like this based off of my videos. And I have to have good videos. I have to be go step by step and say, you know, go to Infusionsoft, go log in via LastPass, go to click on the campaigns button, do this, do that, and show in the videos. And then they make these. And now my entire business is able to run by itself, and which makes my business into an asset that I could even sell later on if I wanted to, which is pretty crazy. So why do I bring this up? Mainly because, and for those of you thinking like, hey, he was going to share a second resource, I will share that in just a second. Mainly because I get so many questions about outsourcing and what can I do? How can I find the best people? And really, to me, it's not even just finding the best people. Usually it's like, especially if they have Amazon, like an Amazon business, something like that. They'll say, how can I find someone who has Amazon experience? Or how can I find someone who has whatever? In my mind, and that's the way I used to think, for sure. That's the way I used to think. In my mind, it's the better question is, how can I develop processes and systems that can essentially clone myself? I can clone myself because I know my business. I know my business best, and I can clone myself, create documentation that other people can use to then learn, and not just learn, but they're learning as they're doing, learn how to run my business the way I want to run my business. And that's the other thing. A lot of business owners, they say, well, I do it best. I can't hire anyone. They just don't do it as well as I do. Well, what if you had the ability to make systems or documentation like this that essentially makes other people able to do it the way that you wanted them to do it? That's what this is about. That's what this is about. And just this little shift has been so instrumental in my business. Okay. It's so instrumental in my business that I wish I would have learned this 5 to 7 years ago. I don't think when I first started out, this would have been good, because it would, but I don't think I even had the money for it. But maybe 5 years ago, when I, was getting profitable with my business and so on, and able to start hiring a lot more staff, it's pretty amazing, man. Always imagine I'm talking to one person. But yeah, the other resource is, I actually did an interview with the guy who taught me how to do this. It's free training. He goes through how to actually do this, like why you want to start doing this type of thing. He gives you a very big paradigm shift. Okay. It's about a 35-minute interview. He talks about this whole entire process, how to create systems, why we don't create systems, and then how to turn the ideas that we have in our head about outsourcing and stuff like that, and turn them into our advantage, and start doing stuff like this, and offloading your entire business. Because this has nothing to do with outsourcing, say, to the Philippines or to other places outside of the United States. This really, like, when you understand systems, which, yeah, I outsource to the Philippines, so does he, etc. But at some point in time, that's not even going to be the place to outsource. So it's not even about that. It's more about learning how to build processes, how to build procedures like this, so that you can offload your stuff to anybody. It could be your neighbor down the street. It could be your wife. It could be your husband. It could be, your 9-year-old. But the idea is that you have step-by-step procedures, step-by-step processes that run your entire business. And the cool thing is, a lot of people will say, and I'll give you the other resource for that interview in just a second. Other people, they'll say, I don't want it to be so rigid and yada yada. The thing is that when you make things this rigid and make it to where they understand exactly what you're doing, then your staff ends up being able to own your business, because then they understand, they end up getting really, really good at stuff. And so I'll even have my guys saying, hey, this part's wrong. It's been updated to this. Should I just update the process? and they'll update the process for me. And they'll even, if they find better ways of doing something, they'll update that process to do something better. And what you find is that because you are so strict with your processes, you end up just having such a more efficient business and making a lot more money. So all that being said, the other resource that I have, which is the interview that I did with my mentor, Gonzalo. If you go to www.academytrainings.com/systems, www.academytrainings.com/systems, I do an interview. It's about 35 minutes. I want to say it's around there with him. Guy is amazing. And, when I was starting to do my systems in the beginning, my procedures, my processes and stuff for my guys, I was spending probably spending about an hour per process, writing them out. Because with the Work the System book, which is a great book, but he has you write out the entire process yourself. Gonzalo does it completely differently. You create a video and your guys create the processes. And he goes into that and why that's much more efficient. Because I can do a 5-minute video and be done with it, right? I can do a 5-minute video. I think the longest process video I've ever done was about 30 minutes. And that was for a huge process. That was actually that process was this one right here. Not a huge process, but it took a long time. It's a quality control check for my cash machine. So I have my guys going through and making sure that each part in this quality control, they're checking and making sure that each section is correct so that we didn't mess up somewhere, which is great, right? So they're going and doing quality control, which is another thing you can do. So if you want that, if you are one who wants to outsource and to really just build a business that runs by itself, go check out academytrainings.com/systems. It's about a 35-minute interview. You just enter your email, your name and email, and you get directed immediately to that interview with Gonzalo. Guy is amazing with systems and completely transformed my business. And if you see all of these right here, these they have a ton of stuff in here. And these were all just about 5-minute videos. So I really think that it is, I don't even think, it is amazing what he is able to teach you. So go check that out. And if you have any questions, feel free, 1, like this video, 2, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and 3, comment in the comment section. Any questions you have, I'll make another video specific to those questions. And, I love talking about this stuff. I'm a nerd. If you're a nerd too, and you like this stuff, and if you really want to offload all your stuff, please leave me a comment. I will totally make another video and to answer that comment and tell you how I do it in my business. So hopefully that was good, and hopefully you enjoyed it. So, all right. So this is Dean Soto, and I'm with the Online Empire Academy, and we'll see you next time.